Good day, everybody. It is super hot where I live. It's like we're having this heat wave that we never experienced this here. And you know, there's one thing I've learned over the years is nobody cares about your weather, which is why I probably shouldn't have led with that. You know, last time I led with good morning, and then I caught myself and I thought, well, you know, it's not morning where everybody lives, but then I said you got like a 50-50 chance of it being morning where you live. And a number of people called me out on that, and they said, you know, there's more than just morning and night. There's, you know, evening, afternoon, and all of that. And of course you're right. And I was thinking, when I said that, I guess I was thinking more like AM, PM, night and day. Of course, there's a lot more than just morning and evening or night and day. There are all these transition zones and gray areas where morning becomes afternoon or evening or nighttime, sort of. I'm not really sure when that is. So I did the work for you. I sat down this morning and came up with a brand new system with actual times that I think makes a lot more sense. First, let's talk about night. In my system, nighttime begins at 8 p.m. Always, all year long. Nighttime lasts until 2 a.m. I mean, think about it. We all stay up until 2 a.m. sometimes, and what we do, we think, wow, it's getting really late. But now here's where things change a little bit. 3 a.m. isn't night or morning. I've come up with a new term. Let's call 3 o'clock the holy crap hour. If you stay up that late, at some point, you're gonna look at your watch and you're gonna say, holy crap, I gotta get up in the morning. And chances are there's gonna be alcohol involved there too. On the other side, if for some reason you need to set your alarm and you gotta get up at 3 a.m., when you get up, you're gonna say, holy crap, what am I doing up this early? So 3 a.m. is both too early and too late to just think clearly. Morning begins at 4 o'clock and it lasts until noon. This is pretty much a no-brainer, but sometimes it stretches a little bit. And you know these times when you're out and you greet someone at, say, 12:30 by saying, good morning, and then you just immediately regret it. Oh, and one other exception is brunch. You know, that weird meal where you eat breakfast food, but it's just way too late. In those cases, morning extends to like 2 o'clock or whenever the buffet closes. Afternoon is always from noon until 5. But there's an exception at 2:30. That's the time of day that I'd like to call energy synchronicity. It's when the day's longest, most boring meetings are usually scheduled and you just struggle to keep your eyes open. Biologically, your brain is telling you that it's 2:30 a.m. and holy crap, it's almost 3. Every 12 hours at 2:30 a.m. and p.m. are the only two times when your biological clock is in perfect sync. So here's another change I've made. Evening will always begin at 5 o'clock and last until 8 o'clock, except in winter, where we're just gonna eliminate evenings altogether, and we'll just simply jump straight from afternoon right into night. And that brings us all the way back to 2 a.m., the end of night. And while I'm on this subject, I'd also like to propose shifting seasons around a little bit. First, in my system, all seasons will begin on the first day of the month. I mean, sure, we can still acknowledge the solstices and equinoxes, but more is like a fun, quirky observance, like National Yogurt Day or Talk Like a Pirate Day. But in practice, summer will officially begin on May 1st and last until August 30th. Fall will be reduced to just 2 months, September and October. I mean, really, nothing about August or November really ever feels like autumn. So the winter will run from November through February, and then spring will also be reduced to just March and April. Oh, and none of this will be different in the Southern Hemisphere. We can all enjoy summertime and complaining about winter together as one planet. Oh, and by the way, this is really getting off on a tangent here. I've long proposed eliminating daylight saving time and establishing a temperature saving time. So what would happen is that every, say, June, we would just roll the thermometers back about 10 or 15 degrees so that it wouldn't be hot. And then maybe in the winter we could do the opposite, say a temperature spending time where we boost those temperatures up 10 or 15 degrees. Thoughts during a heat wave. Bad hair day kind of heat. So I got this full-size sheet of plywood. I picked this up the other day because I was all raring to go to make that top shelf for the cats, and it needs to be a long one, so I need to cut this way, but you know, here we are. I'm complaining about the heat. And I just hate having a sheet of plywood sitting around the shop because it just takes up space. But it got me, that didn't get me thinking about anything, but I was thinking about other things that I wanted to build. And one of them I've been wanting to build for a long time, for the last couple of months. Remember when I was building, I built this, the pull-up bar, and then I did the TRX straps. I use this all the time. It's like one of the best things I ever did, that and some of the other workout equipment. But at the time, I wanted to do some dips bars. I never got around to doing that. So I just designed some really simple ones that I think are gonna work out pretty well. I figure I gotta do something because I don't think the gyms are gonna open in California for the rest of the year at least. What I wanna do here is keep these as simple but sturdy as possible. And I think this is gonna work out. These are all just 2x4s. These are half lap joints and screws and glue holding these uprights together. And then these are just some 1x4s for some cross supports. And also this dowel up here will provide support for the top. So that would be one of them. And then the other one would be exactly the same. But the idea here is that I'll be able to move these in like this. And then I can attach a bolt, you know, at different locations here depending on how close I want those together. So I might drill a few holes in there and have a bolt going through wherever I need it at the time. That way I can keep these fairly close together, or I can widen them. So anyways, that's what I'm looking at right now. It won't take a lot of work really to make this. I just need to go pick up the 2x4s. This is only going to require like 4 2x4s, not even that, but I'll get a couple of extra just because they're cheap. Prices have gone up on 2x4s. I think these were like $4.50 a piece. The Home Depot lumber is just, it's horrible. I don't know if it's like that at all Home Depots, but it's so hard to, this took me like 20 minutes just to find 5 boards that were sort of passable, usable. And you know, I mean, if I had to do something that was this long, I wouldn't be able to have any of these that would work. Just as a reminder, if you would like to build this miter saw station, just visit the sponsor of today's video, me. This is part of my weekend workshop course over at theweekendworkshop.com. Remember, by supporting my sponsors, you're helping to support woodworking for mere mortals. I'll glue and screw these together. Now I can drill the holes for the dowels. I probably should have done this before I assembled these, but it's okay. And I'm also gonna stop this bit before it goes all the way through. This is the kind of thing I could do with the hand drill, but having the drill press makes it easy for 2 different ways. One, that I can stop that bit at the same depth on each one. That'll help when I cut the dowels to length. And then the second thing is that with this, I can use a stop block here so that they're all equal distant from the top and from the edges. I cut the dowels down to size, I'll glue them in place. So I want to put a couple of cross braces across down here to keep it parallel. So the way I figured out how to do this is to clamp one side down first. Then what I could do is square this up in here. So this is going to need to come way over. Then I can screw these 1x4s on there. Oh yeah, that's gonna be plenty sturdy. I don't think I even need to put those bolts in the bottom. I think that these will be fine just as they are. I can even go wide like this if I want to. I'm really pleased with how sturdy these things are. So I'm gonna leave it off here for now. I'm like way hot. I need to cool off a little bit. That'll give that glue time to dry on those dowels. Tomorrow I'll sand it down, make it look a little nicer, and then hit it with some spray paint.